ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting options.
Right, welcome to the third and final stream of the day. We are going to be doing Burnley versus Liverpool, the final game of the day in England. League leaders, the former league leaders, now Man City, are now top of the league, but the team that were leading the Premier League coming into this week's games are playing against Burnley, who have had a pretty decent start. They've done alright. Ashley Barnes doing pretty well, but we're going to look at the lineup, so we're going to look at all the other results today, and then we'll give our score predictions and stuff. So we're just going to get the thing up on here just to see. It's Burnley v Liverpool. Start with the Burnley lineup because they're the home team. So Burnley playing a 4-4-2 with Nick Pope in goal, Tarkowski and Ben Mee centre back, Peters left back, Loughton right back, Lennon right mid, Dwight McNeil left mid, Westwood and Cork in the centre mid, and Chris Wood and Ashley Barnes up top. And on the bench for them, they have Taylor, Drinkwater, Hendrick, Rodriguez, Hart, Vidra and Long. And then for Liverpool, they're playing 4-3-3 with Adrian in goal, Matip and Van Dijk centre-back, Trent Alexander-Arnold right-back, Robertson left-back, Henderson, Fabinho and Wijnaldum in the midfield with Salah on the right, Mane on the left and Firmino up top. Then on the bench for them, they are playing Milner, Gomez, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Lallana, Shaqiri, Origi and Kelly Hare. So those are the lineups. We're going to look at all the other results today, starting with the Premier League games, and then we'll look at the league tables. Then it should be like 5 to 10 minutes till kick-off, hopefully. So we'll start with the Premier League games. In the early kick-off, Southampton drew 1-1 to Man United. Daniel James gave Man United the lead, but Vestergaard equalised 58 minutes in. Danso getting a red card after a second yellow. But Southampton still managing to get a point against Man United. Chelsea drew 2-2 to Sheffield United at Stamford Bridge. Tammy Abraham gave them the lead 90 minutes in. He scored his second of the game, 43 minutes in, to make it 2-0. Robertson scored early on in the second half, and Zuma with a late own goal to give the Blades a point at Stamford Bridge. The next game, Crystal Palace v Aston Villa. Jordan Ayew getting his second goal of the season to give Palace a 1-0 win against the newly promoted side. Trezeguet getting a red card. So a couple of red cards in the Prem today. Next fixture, Leicester winning 3-1 against Bournemouth. Vardy with 2 goals, Tielemans with 1 and Callum Wilson also with 1. The next game, Man City v Brighton, finished 4-0. De Bruyne scoring 68 seconds in, Aguero scoring twice and Bernardo Silva scoring 17 seconds after coming off the bench to put Man City top of the league for now. It will probably change by the end of the day, because Liverpool should be beating Burnley. The next game, Newcastle v Watford. Will Hughes scoring early on, but Fabian Schär scoring towards the end of the first half to make it 1-1, and that's how it finished. No goals in the second half there. Watford getting their first point of the season. Now every Premier League club has got a point this season. Final game, the commentary we just did, West Ham v Norwich, finished 2-0 West Ham. Hilaire and Yarmolenko with the goals. So that's all the Premier League games. We're going to move on to Championship games now, and we're also going to look at League 1 and League 2 games. So we'll look at Scottish League as well. So Aberdeen winning 3-0 against Ross County. Hearts drawing 2-2 to Hamilton. Livingston winning 2-1 against St Mirren. Motherwell winning 3-0 against Hibernian. Kilmarnock winning 1-0 against St Johnstone. So that is all Scottish League games. We've got Rangers Celtic tomorrow, so if you're a Scottish League fan, you want to see commentary for Rangers v Celtic, I'm going to be doing commentary for that, so subscribe to the channel to be able to see that. We're also going to be doing Arsenal v Tottenham tomorrow, so if you want to see that, hit the subscribe button, and then you'll be able to see more streams from me. But moving on to the Championship, the early kick-off finished 2-2 between Bristol City and Middlesbrough. Birmingham beat Stoke 2-1. Brentford beat Derby 3-0. Swansea beating Leeds 3-1 to go top. No, Swansea beating Leeds 1-0 to go top of the league. Luton winning 2-1 against Huddersfield. Millwall drawing 1-0 against Hull. Nottingham Forest drawing 1-0 against Preston. Charlton winning 2-0 against Reading. QPR winning 2-1 against Sheffield Wednesday. West Brom winning 3-2 against Blackburn, and Wigan drawing 0-0 to Barnsley. So Swansea go top of the league now on 16 points. Leeds I think fall down to third because Charlton won 2-0. Moving on to League 1, there's 11 fixtures because Barry got removed from the Football League. Accrington beat MK Dons 2-1. Wimbledon drawing 0-0 to Wickham. Blackpool drawing 1-0 to Portsmouth. Burton winning 2-0 to Bristol Rovers. Gillingham winning 5-0 against Bolton. Bolton always lose 5-0. That's the third game they've lost 5-0 this season. They lost against Ipswich 5-0 and lost against Tranmere 5-0. But Ipswich winning 3-0 against Shrewsbury. Lincoln winning 2-0 against Fleetwood. Oxford drawing 3-3 to Coventry. Peterborough winning 3-0 against Sunderland. Rotherham drawing 1-0 to Tranmere, and Southend losing 3-0 to Rochdale. In League 2, I think all 12 games were played. Crawley winning 1-0 against Cheltenham. Crewe winning 2-1 against Bradford. Exeter winning 1-0 against Mansfield. Newport winning 2-0 against Forest Green. Northampton winning 3-1 against Plymouth. Colchester winning 1-0 against Oldham. Port Vale winning 1-0 against Cambridge. Salford drawing 1-0 against Leyton Orient. Carlisle winning 1-0 against Scunthorpe. Stevenage drawing 2-2 to Macclesfield. Swindon winning 3-1 against Morecambe, and Grimsby winning 3-1 against Walsall. So that's all the EFL and Premier League fixtures. Gonna look at the league tables, and then we'll focus on Liverpool Burnley. It's the other way around, but don't really matter. But this is the league table as it stands. Man City are top of the league after winning against Brighton. Liverpool could go top of the league. They'd have to win to do so, because if they draw, they'll be behind Man City on goal difference. Leicester are third after their win against Bournemouth. Palace are fourth after winning against Aston Villa. West Ham fifth after beating Norwich. Arsenal sixth, but they have a game in hand against Tottenham. Man U seventh. Sheffield United eighth. Sheffield United had a pretty decent start. 5 points from 4 games. Considering they've played Chelsea, they've played another decent team, I think. I mean, they played Leicester and lost. They played Palace and won, and they lost their first game. No, they drew their first game. So they've had a decent start. But Burnley are in 10th. Why did I say Nottingham Forest? Tottenham 11th, but they got a game in hand. Everton 12th. They're playing Wolves tomorrow. Southampton 13th. Newcastle 14th. Bournemouth 15th. Brighton 16th. Wolves 17th. Aston Villa 18th. Norwich 19th. And Watford 20th. Liverpool obviously need to win to go top of the league. If they draw, they go second on goal difference. If they lose, then they'll stay second, but they could get overtaken by Arsenal depending how bad the losses and how well Arsenal do against Tottenham. As for Burnley, they are in 10th at the moment. A win will put them on 7 points and into 4th on goal difference. A draw will put them in 8th, and a loss, depending how bad it is, if it's by 1 goal, they'll be 10th or 11th. Don't know. Probably 11th, because actually I don't know. But if they lose by more than 1 goal, they drop down to 11th, which they probably will lose by like 2 goals or so. But that's the Premier League table. We'll move on to the Championship table. Swansea top of the league, Charlton second, Leeds third, West Brom fourth, Bristol City fifth, and Fulham sixth. And then in mid-table we have Preston 7th, QPR 8th, Birmingham 9th, Nottingham Forest 10th, Sheffield Wednesday 11th, Millwall 12th, Cardiff 13th, Brentford 14th, Luton 15th, Reading 16th, Blackburn 17th, Middlesbrough 18th, Derby 19th, Hull 20th, Barnsley 21st. Then in the relegation zone we have Wigan 22nd, Huddersfield 23rd, and Stoke 24th. Thought Stoke didn't lost all their games. League One's the next league to go through. Obviously only 23 teams in here, but Ipswich top of the league, Lincoln in 2nd, Blackpool 3rd, Coventry 4th, Wycombe 5th, Sunderland 6th, and then in the mid-table we have Peterborough 7th, Burton 8th, Fleetwood 9th, Rochdale 10th, Doncaster 11th, Shrewsbury 12th, Rotherham 13th, Bristol Rovers 14th, MK Dons 15th, Gillingham 16th, Portsmouth 17th, Oxford 18th, Tranmere 19th, Accrington Stanley 20th, And in relegation zone we have Wimbledon 21st, Southend 22nd and Bolton 23rd. We all know Bolton are getting relegated. There's no way they're staying up. So it's pretty much between two teams getting relegated. Just like in League 2, which we're about to go through the league table on that. So Exeter are top of the league, Newport in 2nd, Crewe 3rd, Grimsby 4th, Swindon 5th, Plymouth 6th, and Macclesfield 7th. And then in middle we have Crawley 8th, Forest Green 9th, Port Vale 10th, Cheltenham 11th, Bradford 12th, Cambridge 13th, Colchester 14th, Leyton Orient 15th, Salford 16th, Northampton 17th, Carlisle 18th, Mansfield 19th, Morecambe 20th, Walsall 21st, Oldham 22nd, Stevenage 23rd, and there's only one team getting relegated actually from League 2. That's the change they've made. So there's only one team getting relegated, so there's going to be 4 getting promoted from National League. Let me have a look. So there's only one team. Whoever comes last in League 2 is getting relegated, so 23rd would be fine. So I don't get this. Like, why is there 2 lines here? Surely it means there'll be like 3 getting promoted. I'm not sure. It's normally 2 get promoted. Probably 3 now. It's going to be really confusing, but we'll find out towards the end of the season. But now we've gone through every result, we're going to focus on the game we're doing, which is Burnley v Liverpool. We'll put the lineups on the screen there, then we'll read the injury news and the match facts. So we're only 12 minutes away from kickoff now, so if you are, well, not really, but if you want to leave stream and come back in 10 minutes, that's fine. Because the game doesn't start for another 12 minutes. I need to give my score prediction. I'm going to predict 3-1 Liverpool. I don't think they'll keep clean sheet. I think Ashley Barnes will score a goal, but I think Salah and Mane will probably score more goals. Firmino could score another, but I think Salah will score 1 and Mane will score 2. That's my prediction. We'll scroll down to the subs now if anyone's interested. Then we're going to look at the injury news and match facts. Right, we're going to look at the team news now. So, Burnley manager Sean Dyche says Goodmanson's calf injury is not as bad as first feared, but he's not going to feature today. Robbie Brady, no, I can't speak today. Robbie Brady is nearing a return, but remains on the sidelines along with Defoe. Naby Keita is not fit until after the international break. The only other player manager Klopp is set to be without his first choice keeper Alisson. Looking at team news now. Did he say prediction 1-1? They just lost to Sunderland in midweek, who have lost 3-0 to like Peterborough or something today. And you think they're going to draw 1-1 to the Champions League winners? And if they do, then fair enough, but I highly doubt they're going to draw. But anyway, looking at the head-to-head, Burnley have won just 2 of their last 16 matches against Liverpool in all competitions. The Clarets have picked up just 4 points from a possible 30 in Premier League games versus the Reds. Sean Dyche's side have scored against Liverpool in all 6 of their matches since Klopp took over. The Clarets have won just 1 of their last 7 Premier League matches. Ashley Barnes has 13 Premier League goals in 2019. Only Sergio Aguero and Sadio Mane have more. Barnes has scored 42% of their league goals in 2019. He is aiming to become the first Burnley player to net in 5 consecutive Premier League matches and the first to score in 5 successive top-flight matches since Ray Pointer in 1962. Since his debut in 2014, Barnes is one of just 5 players to have scored a Premier League goal against all the established top 6 sides. The others are Mane, Sigurdsson, Vardy and Wijnaldum. I was about to say how's Aguero on that list when I realised he can't score against Man City. But a third of Barnes' top flight goals have come against Big Six opposition. So he could score today. I think he will. But it would be like 3-1 or so. But moving on to Liverpool, they could equal the club's top flight record of 6 consecutive away victories, a sequence they have recorded on 3 previous occasions. Lately, from February to April 2014, the Reds have lost just once in their last 42 league matches, winning 109 of 126 points available. Liverpool are unbeaten in their last 10 Premier League games played in August, winning the last 8 in a row. The last team to beat them in August were Burnley in 2016, despite the Reds having 80% possession on that day. They have scored 22 headed goals in the league since the start of last season, which is 7 more than any other side. So that is all the match facts. Going to look at the updated top scorers as well. So Aguero is now the top scorer. He's scored 6 goals. He's got 1 assist. Pukki has got 5 goals, 1 assist. Sterling's got 5 goals. Barnes, who's on 4 goals, could get joint second if he scores today. Salah, if he scores, he can go on 4 goals. Is there any other Liverpool or Burnley players? I think, yeah, Mane's on 1 goal. He probably will score again today. Firmino's on 1 goal. Origi's also on 1 goal. So is Matip. So is Van Dijk. So there's a few players that can score some goals today to put them in the top scorers list. But we have got 4 minutes till kick-off now, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set this up. Alright, that's turned down, which is good. Just need to put this on the screen now. We'll then wait until kickoff has started. Why is that not coming up? Alright, it's coming up now. Just need to set this up. It'll take like a minute and then we'll just wait until kickoff starts. If you are in the stream, comment your predictions for the game. See if anyone can get it right. I think I saw one person predict 2-0 West Ham in the previous stream. See if anyone can get it right. My prediction's 3-1 Liverpool. So stream set now. Got 10 people in here. So Paul Baines says 3-2 Liverpool. That'll be a good game. I don't think Burnley will score twice now. I think they'll score once. They usually do score against Liverpool. They scored against them last season when they played at Turf Moor. It was a 3-1 win then. They took the lead with like Jack Cork or something scoring, and then Shaqiri scored a few goals off the bench or something. And they lost 4-2 in the other fixture. So I remember that game because I think I did commentary for it. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, and then Westwood also scored from a corner in that game. So they've done alright against Liverpool. They've lost pretty much all their games, but they never do that bad against them. So they could honestly do well here, but we'll have to wait and see. Liverpool pretty much playing their best team besides Alisson, because obviously he can't play. We'll see what happens here. We're 1 minute away from kick-off. And then once kick-off starts, I'll put on commentary. Not sure what else to do. I'm just going to sit here until kickoff starts. If you are new to the channel and you want to see more commentaries for Burnley and Liverpool games, then subscribe to the channel. We'll probably do quite a few Liverpool games throughout the season, and Burnley, I think I've done one Burnley game so far this season. Actually no, I think this is the first Burnley game I've done this season, so I'll try and do plenty more if you want to see that. We hit our target of 1,630 subs in the last stream, so our new target is going to be 1,650, so we need 11 subs by the end of the game. The game has just started, so I'm going to put on the commentary, so enjoy the first half and I'll be back at half time.
Going to have to crawl across broken glass, aren't they, at Turf Moor to try and get something out of this team. So it should be a good contest.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be no real surprises in the way that Burnley will set up in terms of a 4-4-2, and you know, I think the advice from Sean Dyche will be to try and get at Liverpool and ruffle them and maybe unsettle them, and then maybe try and pick something up off the break. But this Liverpool side has been very good at pretty much seeing out all the tests that have been put in front of them over the last sort of year or so, and they've actually had some good results at Turf Moor in the past few years.
But Robertson picks up the ball. He's at the byline now. An early chance for Liverpool as he crosses the ball. There's so many bodies in there. Eventually Jack Cork heads it away. Oh, and then a shot from range. Fabinho looked good off his foot and emptied into the stand. Yeah,
good start from Liverpool, closing down Burnley well on the left-hand side. It broke for Robertson down by the corner flag. Decent delivery in, cleared by Burnley. Felt it, Fabinho. I thought it was too far out for the Brazilian to hit it first time, but he took it on, and it was a rising shot that flew over the bar.
Yeah, saw a little interview with Adrian today. Adrian on TV. We'll just break off. Here is Wood. Great long ball to him. He cuts inside. He gets a shot away. It's a save by the keeper we just mentioned. Adrian with a good save. The ball's still not cleared though, and eventually the cross comes in. That's blocked away. That was close.
Wow, I mean, that's Burnley's tactics in a nutshell, really. A long ball downfield. Looking if he's offside. He's not offside. He's played on by Joel Matip in central defence. Brilliant first touch. Turns past Virgil van Dijk. Good save by Adrian, and then Liverpool just about scramble it clear. What a start to the match.
Yeah, nice cut by Wood, and then his shot's on target, isn't it? So corner kick now, an opportunity. Ball to the far post. Too far for everybody, and that one sails straight out. Yeah, saw an interview with Adrian, and they were talking about Klopp and all that. And he's saying, yeah, well, listen, I'm settling in, and he's helping me settle in, and that includes everything about, where you move into. It's like he cares. He cares about his players, and it's not just lip service. They don't all pretend to like him or anything. He's that man, and that's how he's got this team working for him. Plus he's got his own style. Long ball forward for Burnley won't work this time. Adrian's got the sun right in his face there. I'm surprised that he's not wearing a cap or something like that. But anyway, long ball forward here for Liverpool, and Salah will pick it up under a bit of pressure from Ben Mee. Comes out to claim him, and Henderson's on the overlap. And now he picks up the ball from Alexander-Arnold. Henderson then crosses deep to the far post, too deep, beyond everybody, and Wijnaldum closest to, but not a good ball. No,
it was a bit of a wasted cross in the end from Jordan Henderson. But I mean, just going back to what you're saying about Klopp, I think it is true. I mean, there's an aura about him, and maybe some people would say there's a bit of a sort of, not a media obsession, but there's very few negative comments about Jurgen Klopp. But I think there's a reason for that, and that's because he is what he is, and he is a very good character, and you're right in that he cares about his players. I've read so many interviews and seen so many interviews with him that you just know from sort of looking at him that it's not just all about the football with him. He does care about his players, and he's managed to create this really good team spirit, and it does actually count for a lot. I think it's something that's underplayed sometimes in football, even at the top level, that having a good team spirit and having a good camaraderie is still vitally important.
Sure is. I've got to say the pitch looks perfect at Turf Moor, doesn't it? It looks absolutely beautiful. Well done to ground staff there. About 4 minutes gone. Burnley 0, Liverpool 0. And again, Burnley are up and at them sort of team. Not going to let Liverpool settle. Alexander-Arnold sends one round the corner. Tarkowski wins their header. Then Ashley Barnes wins a chest, but long ball this time for Wood, not good enough. And it's a pick up by Adrian. And he's no Alisson Becker, right? I think that he didn't really come to clear the line, so I think it makes it a lot more difficult for the Liverpool back four, who probably have to play a little bit closer to him, because he's not really a sweeper. Here's Mane, ball breaks him at the edge of the area, gets it out of his feet, finds Salah, and it's come pinging back off the woodwork there. Keeper was beaten. Nick Pope there diving to his left, but the ball pinged back off the woodwork. Here come Liverpool into the box now. Firmino, little step, keeps hold of the ball, lays it off to Robertson, lays it on his inside for Wijnaldum, then Fabinho. Liverpool have the ball.
Sorry John, great chance for Salah. Liverpool worked it well, and he took the shot on with his left foot. Comes back off the post. You did expect him to score, really, although it wasn't like a chance that was a gilt-edged chance, but once it left his foot it did look like it was going in. Back off the woodwork. Real lively start to the match there.
Yeah, here's Salah again, trying to cut from his left onto his right to put Henderson in. Can't find him. Now it's with Ashley Barnes. Holds up that ball ever so well. Finds Loughton. Loughton looking for a long ball over the top. No, not a good ball for Wood. No chance of getting there first. Van Dijk keeps it in, plays it back to his keeper. So, it's a real tempo about it. It's a proper Premier League game, and I think Liverpool, in fairness to them, know what to expect. You've got to be up and at them at Burnley. Any dropping off or any sense you've not got off the coach, and you're going to find it tough, but they're at it already. Ball over the top for Mane. Some good defending then done by Tarkowski, who runs across and then finds a good ball for Wood, who controls it. But again, it's Liverpool win it back. Firmino now driving forward. Relentless start to the game. and he's looking for Alexander-Arnold. He's an ace away from putting him in, but McNeil's done a good job there. The 19-year-old chased back and just got hold of the ball.
Looking forward to seeing McNeil this afternoon, John, because he's a player there's been a bit of talk about, and when I've seen him on a few occasions, he's looked very lively and maybe having to do a bit of defending early on in this match, but when he gets forward and he gets at players, he can cause teams real problems. And I think he's a sort of player that, no disrespect to Burnley, that in the next couple of years, if he keeps progressing as he has been, that he'll be looking at a move to maybe a bigger top 6, top 4 club.
Well, he intercepts the ball there, and then you look at his pace running with the ball. He wasn't particularly quick there and allowed Alexander-Arnold back to him. They chipped the ball over the top again, looking for the big 9. But I think Wood was probably offside in that move. Yeah,
Burnley's tactics are fairly obvious, aren't they? Get it up towards Wood and/or Barnes as sort of quickly as possible, and try and catch Liverpool, who have been holding a high line at the start of this season. Try and catch them off guard, and they're not getting in quite yet. They got in once early on, but it's a little bit of a dangerous game that Liverpool do sometimes play.
So a good header there by Van Dijk. Ball over the top, and Wood most definitely offside this time by a country mile, I would have said. So the ball's going to know it's in a game today, and then leather knocked off it. Both teams up and at them, frantic sort of start, and it kind of suits Liverpool really. 57 goals for Salah since it was August 2017. Since he joined, yeah. So that's nobody can quite live with that sort of record, and apparently he's only behind Aguero and Kane for goals scored in game time sort of thing. So they score goals more quickly on average than he does. Right. But I mean, yeah.
I was wondering, when else do you score goals if it's not in game time? Is it in the warm up?
I don't know. I'm too busy looking at my bin in the corner. Anyway,
doing your research.
He's good, and sort of surprisingly so, really. But because he's not an out-and-out striker, is he? He's an inside right, really. Anyway, long ball punted forward.
We were saying it in the office this afternoon that I'm sure people listening will be eager players of the fantasy football and that, and he's still classed in some of the games as a midfielder, Salah. Which seems a bit incredible, really, because he's part of a front three, but because he plays out wide, I think it's like, well, he's still a midfielder, but as is Sadio Mane as well at times.
Yeah, I think that's weird, because in the formation that they're in, they're not really asked to defend, even though they can, and they can chase back for the team. But I don't think he really wants them doing that. I remember
he's a forward, isn't he? He's a forward, as is Mane, but they're down as midfield.
But I remember Salah playing for Chelsea, and he's asked to sort of protect his fullback, and he didn't have any sort of impact there, So I think he takes somebody who's a bit more sort of clever to work out what you need to do with him to obviously get the goals out of him, as Liverpool are squeezing him out of him, and as they're playing out from the back with Matip. And then the other thing for Mane, if you watch him play for his country, they do play him as a midfielder, as a winger, and he's not half as influential. Anyway, ball to Mane, but this time he's beaten to it by Lowton, who's just a bit taller than him. Ball breaks for Ben Mee now, who jabs one into the middle of the park. And again, he's on his back, McNeil. That's brilliant. He's having a right go at Alexander-Arnold, running him down the left-hand side, and he gets the byline. I think he's played it off the toe end of Alexander-Arnold, who's won his team a corner. Brilliant from McNeil.
Yeah, it's good all round, actually, because I think Alexander-Arnold did well to get back and defend, but impressive from McNeil down that left-hand side. Good turn of pace, running it. Alexander-Arnold and trying to force the issue, and gets down to the byline. He's almost like an old-fashioned winger, isn't he, McNeil?
Well, he's big and strong, isn't he? I mean, he's only 19, but this kid's 6 foot tall. It's pretty tall for a winger. He's obviously very quick, and Trent Alexander-Arnold blowing there. He knows he's going to be in a game today. As the ball comes into the box, headed up in the air and over by Van Dijk. That's got to be another corner. He said he might have got a shove in the back there, but
I don't think there's anything in it.
Nah, a bit rough and tumble. But another corner kick, and obviously this is meat and drink for Burnley. Barnes great in the air, Wood great in the air, Tarkowski at me. Others in there wanting to make a nuisance of themselves.
Well, they'll have worked on this, won't they? Set pieces, free kicks, corners, Burnley, to try and unruffle Liverpool.
So here we go, ball in. Adrian flaps it, that doesn't clear it. Fabinho with a good defensive header. And then Lennon, he thought he played it off Salah's chest there. I've got a bit of sympathy for that. Tell you what, let's have a bit of recap of the start we've had. At Turf Moor, very lively game of football. We saw Burnley with the first chance. I think Loughton with a long ball found Wood in space. He cut into the box and had a shot saved by Adrian, tipping it round the post. Doesn't take long for Liverpool to hit their straps though, and they threw Firmino and Mane found a ball to Salah on the right hand side, left footed. He curled the shot in, seemed to have beaten Nick Pope but came pinging back off the goal post. So still 0-0.
Yeah, Liverpool just looking to mount and attack themselves, but then Burnley win it back with a long ball forward, like a free kick in midfield there for a foul on Wijnaldum, which it was by Westwood. Still 0-0 then at Turf Moor in the evening game in the Premier League. The earlier scores in the Premier League today, by the way. Southampton 1, Manchester United 1, Chelsea 2, Sheffield United 2, Palace 1, Villa 0, Leicester 3, Bournemouth 1, Man City 4, Brighton 0, Newcastle 1, Watford 1, and West Ham 2, Norwich 0. The ball is on the halfway line as Sean Dyche looks on, John, and I think Dyche will be fairly satisfied with what he's seen from his team first 12 minutes.
Yeah, they're at it. They're playing their game, aren't they? And you know, they're probably going to need a little bit of luck tonight to get something. But I think the other thing that they could do with is scoring first as well. You know, it can be pretty decisive, that.
Roberto Firmino with a lovely little touch and play in midfield. I love watching the Brazilian play. He's got to be one of my favourite players. He's one of them players for me who seems to be able to create space and time on the ball when there isn't any. I'm not saying he's underrated because I know he gets a lot of praise for Firmino, but Salah and Mane tend to get a bit more praise because they probably score a few more goals, but he is absolutely vital to them.
I think he works back harder than they do. You know, he's the weirdly enough with number 9 on his back, but he's the one who works more into midfield, and sometimes you see him playing in front of his back four, but puts a lot of effort in. I thought he'd been slightly off form last season and then picked it back up, looking for the killer ball there, but Firmino can't find Mane as Ben Mee, left footed, just sweeps that ball away. It's not in play for long as they struggle to bring it in with Darren Lennon on the left hand side. In for Goodmanson today. He got a calf injury. The Salah now having a bit of a run, held up by Peters, the Dutchman, as the ball goes back to Henderson. Puts a ball into the box, not a bad one. Loughton heads it away, breaks to Wijnaldum at the edge of the area, who turns away from his would-be marker, Ashley Westwood. And the ball goes back to Van Dijk's got Matip, bit easy if he wants him, but an even easier ball back to his keeper. Yeah,
he wanted support from midfield there, Van Dijk didn't quite get it, had to go back to Adrian instead. Both teams working really hard to try and deny the other team space, as you would expect.
McNeil now on the right hand side, having started on the left and played well, but now Henderson picks it up, finds Firmino, but he's tagged in the middle of the park by Jack Cork, who takes the ball off him. Wood then, what sort of ball is that? I mean, he absolutely thumped it past Ashley Barnes. No idea what he's trying to do there. Not really his strong suit passing. Heading, I think
he's not good for a footballer, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, heading, he's not bad.
Yeah, it's more of his forte, isn't it?
Rather blunt instrument, really, Chris Wood. But anyway, Alexander Arnold with the long ball. He looks for Mane, but that ball bounces ahead of Mane and away from Mane. And then the ball is rolled out. Ball's like a hot potato today, isn't it?
It's a bit. Do you know what? Actually, John, both teams are being quite direct. Liverpool being a little bit more direct than I thought they would be. Actually, I thought Liverpool would sort of settle down into a bit more possession-based sort of a style. But you get the feeling that they're almost trying to counter Burnley's tactics a little bit by hitting them with their own medicine to a certain extent by playing it direct as well. And it is something that Liverpool do under Klopp. You know, you watch Manchester City and maybe Arsenal of the years gone by, where it's all tippy-tappy, nice football, possession. Liverpool aren't exactly like that. They can mix it up.
Yeah, and I think what they're spotting is that, you know, the Burnley midfield are thinking they'll be playing that from the back, so we'll hold a line higher. Yeah. And if you can just chip the ball over those midfielders, it's like, all right, we'll scrap for second ball. We have got 3 attackers. Anyway, free kick given away by Van Dijk.
Yeah, this is an interesting situation, this, because Liverpool are keeping high line in this sort of a free kick, and I think Burnley will be working on something here to try and catch Liverpool out.
Yeah, you would have thought so. Can they chip it in behind? Well, they drill it to the far post instead, and I think, well, Tarkowski took it off the head of me, who's in a much better position in behind him. That's sod's law. A drill ball to the far post wasn't a bad one, really.
No, I mean, it wasn't a bad free kick. I think in the end it's a little bit of a waste from Burnley. They seemed to take it a bit quicker than I thought they were going to do, and I don't think everyone was quite ready for it. Tarkowski in the end, as you say, took it off his teammate, but I expected a little bit more of a sort of planned move there from Burnley. It didn't really come off.
No, well, maybe that was the plan. Hit it to the far post, hope for the best.
Yeah.
Anyway, Robertson on the ball, and he strokes it back to Van Dijk, who I think was player of the season for Liverpool last year, and
recently won the UEFA Men's Player of the Year as well in the week, and before the Champions League draws, of course. A lot of people suggesting he will pick up the Ballon d'Or and be one of the few defenders to win that award in the last sort of 10-15 years.
Yeah, it takes some doing that, doesn't it? When you've got the likes of Messi, Ronaldo still playing. Anyway, Cork now on the ball, but Fabinho put a leg across him there, and I think inevitably he's going to fall down. I think the referee got that right.
I think he got a bit of the ball, Fabinho, but I think you're right, he might have took him out as well. We'd have to see the replay.
Yeah, wasn't much in it, and not a great deal of contact, but anyway, Ashley Westwood, the former Aston Villa, I think he started off at Crewe, did he? I'm not sure.
Yeah, Villa for a few years,
didn't exactly set the world on fire as that team went down, but anyway, ball chipped over the top. It's a poor one, and Tarkowski can't get there. There wasn't a great angle for that, but McNeil's hit was poor. Have to work on that, but he's made a good start.
I think Dyche will be disappointed. They've had 2 free kicks, Burnley, in good positions for them to be able to try and put Liverpool under pressure, and it's the defence that actually has looked under pressure at times this season already, whereas last season they looked very, very solid, and it hasn't. Them 2 free kicks have been completely wasted, as Jurgen Klopp's having a word with some of the fans there by the looks of it.
Yeah, they're smiling in behind him.
I don't know quite what that was about, but he sort of seems to be having a bit of a chat with someone about something.
Yeah, the fans aren't too far away. He gives a thumbs up to the fans anyway. So they're having a good time.
What it was about that.
No idea. Anyway, the ball breaks kindly for McNeil. An opportunity for him, a shot, but big deflection. And that goes straight into the old bread basket for Adriano. Real harm done there.
Mistake, John, from Sadio Mane, stretching to try and give a pass, simple pass, but he slipped, I think, and gave the ball away to McNeil. And I think it was a better chance than he realised there. McNeil, he could have had a bit of space to run into, went for the shot, deflected into Adrian's path.
Tidy feet by Nick Pope there, who gets a pass back from Lowton. And then Tarkowski wins the ball. Wood this time's onside, he finds Barnes. Well, there's no combination between those two at all, is there? No link. He plays the ball behind his man there, Barnes. You're like, well, come on, surely. You played together before. It's like they're strangers.
Yeah, a bit disappointing, those two at the moment. I would say sort of last 5 minutes, Burnley probably on top in this match. They're having a bit more of the play than Liverpool and looking a little bit more dangerous early on.
Yeah, Northwest derby this one. A fairly packed crowd, I think, at Turf Moor, and it's a funny catchment that Burnley's got. They've got as many Yorkshire fans as Lancashire fans, I think, even though it is in the Red Rose County. As Liverpool now make a break. Here's Firmino left hand side, but telegraphed that ball, and Tarkowski comes across and does a good job.
Yeah, Liverpool's passing just a bit sloppy at the minute. A few passes been sort of dropped in short and not quite reaching their target. That was another example of it there, when I think a good ball from Robertson down the left, I think it was, to Firmino, would have maybe set him free down the left, but it was cut out.
So Liverpool a bit more thoughtful in possession now. Fabinho picks it up, finds Van Dijk, finds Matip. A quiet start to the game as he gallops forward, puts a good looking ball in, and Mane's trying to get there, but he's well marshalled, I would have said. And eventually Peters, no nonsense, launched it toward the halfway line. Van Dijk wins his heading duel with Barnes, and then Fabinho, really clever little header in the middle of the park for Salah. The ball on the inside is not particularly good, but Liverpool still have it. And in their darker change strip today, no red shirts or anything, as we see some good play there. Not a great ball from Salah, but a good header from Mane to find Robertson. As ever, looking for the overlap down the left, but just being held in check by Lowton. Then he goes backwards, and then Wijnaldum Salah come deep to find it, looks to straighten up, ball breaks for Henderson, Salah into the box he goes, oh, and it's bundled clear, he's dead unlucky there, and so too was Nick Pope lucky, because that ball could have ended up anywhere.
Well, I mean, good play from Liverpool. Salah engineered it because he played the ball in initially and then gets the 1-2 back, I think from Henderson, who played it to him. Lovely little ball by Henderson. Salah's first touch was a bit heavy. Pope comes out, he looks like for all the world it's going to cannon off Salah and go in sort of inadvertently, but it just drops a yard or so wide, could have gone anywhere.
Yeah, that's right. So Pope came out and he sort of bundles it with his knees into the knees of Salah, and like you said, it was more like that would hit the back of the net from the angle he'd got. But sometimes you need that little bit of luck, even if you are Mo Salah. But he started all that himself, picking it up from deep and just thinking, right, I'll go get involved. I like that. As Liverpool now on the ball just that little bit more, just from the moment you said that Burnley are doing all right, they've hardly had the ball. Yeah,
Liverpool come back into it in the last 3 or 4 minutes, a bit more patient build up play, and I have to say that Firmino and Salah and Henderson look lively. Salah very much so. He gets the ball, he's looking to do slightly different things with it. He's coming infield, he's dropping deep, he's going left. He's not just always out on that right hand side that he loves to, the position he loves to hold.
There's the ball with Mane in the box, but play stopped, and that ball may have gone out. Let's have a recap anyway. And at Turf Moor, still goalless, but we've just seen the best opportunity of the game. Goalless, but we've just seen the best opportunity of the game.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary.
I don't know. You asked me a question, I gave you an answer. 50-50.
85058 08085 90969.
Rangers are favourites then.
Ooh.
Well, that's what you wanted me to say, isn't it?
No, I didn't. I wanted an honest answer. Chris has an Alistair Bruce ball. 2 hours of scowling and bickering. Let's go back to Turf Moor. Alistair Yeomans.
Liverpool have gone mightily close. Salah into Henderson, edge of the penalty area. Came back to Salah. Nick Pope advanced. Ricocheted back off Salah and wide. And just a bit of credit to Nick Pope, the England squad member, because that early chance from Mo Salah, which came back off the post. We've had
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks
Another look at it, and he got a.
I think we do good work. I believe
Ollie Watkins getting 2 of those Brentford goals this afternoon. Just into League One, the top 5 teams all had 11 points at the start of the day. Now,
I tell you what, following this during the game was like the hokey cokey. The one team that knew that they wanted to win and remain top were Ipswich. They beat Shrewsbury by 3-0. It was never really in doubt. Norwood and Jackson both on song. Another goal for them, for either of them. That's 3 goals in 2 for both of those now.
Forwards are going back, slightly rooted to the spot. It's a lovely feeling when you cross it and you see the goalkeepers starting to come and realising they're in no man's land. Your eyes are lit up. The ball through towards Salah. And it's Peters who played it back to Nick Pope instead of clearing it. And he puts it down the line effectively. But Wood can't win the header. But Burton do. And the throw. And their fans are encouraged by at least the competitiveness of their side. That's usually a given, but they are causing Liverpool 1 or 2 problems as well. Yeah, it still feels very open, the game, doesn't it? Credit to Burnley, they're not sitting back, absorbing pressure, playing pure counter-attacking football, but they're respecting Liverpool and the quality that they have in possession. Cork, been a real stalwart since signing from Southampton. His second spell at Burnley. Tarkowski. Absorbing pressure, playing pure counter-attacking football, but they're respecting Liverpool and the quality that they have in possession. Cork. Been a real stalwart since signing from Southampton. His second spell at Burnley. Tarkowski. Not in Burnley, lad. Not with Sean Dyche as your manager. Tarkowski thought about jumping. It falls here to McNeil. I think that was out. The assistant is on the far side, so it's a long way away from him. The referee, Chris Kavanagh, very difficult for him to tell. It's a throw in. I bet all those fans on the far side behind were giving him a bit of stick. They could see it was a corner. Here's Peters. Westwood. It's a good looking cross because Barnes made a terrific run inside or just behind of Virgil van Dijk. Crucial interception by Lowton. And Fabinho with the illegal challenge on Westwood. Free kick to Burnley. They'll take their time about it, get the big men forward and see what they can come up with here.
What I was saying earlier about Burnley winning these second balls, these when Liverpool clear the ball or when Burnley are defending a pass, making sure they retain possession. They're doing that much better in this last 15 minutes. It's given them more, making them more assertive and more positive.
But it was put down on the ground and taken quickly, but the only man alert to it was Virgil van Dijk. And fooled their own teammates. McNeil. Now Salah can bring the ball away. In space here is Firmino. Head on a swivel. He's got to his right-hand side. Henderson, also Alexander-Arnold here. Away on the left-hand side is Mo Salah. Moser just peers over his left shoulder and sees the Egyptian there. It's a curly ball. It could go all the way, and it does. Salah. Moser just peers over his left shoulder and sees the Egyptian there. It's a curly ball. It could go all the way, and it does. Whether he meant it or not, it doesn't matter. Trent Alexander-Arnold opens the scoring for Liverpool. From the moment it left his boot, Nick Pope was a very worried man, and there was nothing he could do about it. It arced agonisingly over his head. Burnley was a very worried man, and there was nothing he could do about it. It arced agonisingly over his head. Burnley 0, Liverpool 1. Alexander-Arnold's first goal of the season.
Well, that's a smile of, I wonder if anyone else is going to believe me when I tell them I meant it. Absolutely across, good build-up play by Liverpool again. Henderson always willing to get forward, lovely check back, and this is a cross to the far post that goes horribly wrong. But Pope, as we were talking about earlier, when players like Alexander-Arnold put a ball into the box, goalkeepers start reading it. He makes his first 2 steps forward, and then he can't retreat as that ball just loops over him into the top corner. Completely loses his bearings. It's pinpoint into the top corner.
Well, the assist man, Trent Alexander-Arnold, who set a record for a Premier League defender last season with 12 of them, managed 1 goal from a free kick against Watford, but he's got his first goal since then, which was November 2018. A man whose reputation seems to improve and increase week by week.
Slightly, well, not slightly, it is harsh on Burnley. I think they've been playing really well. I think they've really taken the game to Liverpool. As I said, they've respected them and had to defend a lot, but
here he is again, the goal scorer. That was a bit overly physical, I'd say, from Westwood. Came clattering into the back of Jordan Henderson. He's just checking the spot on his left leg. No further action taken by Chris Kavanagh. But it is a free kick.
Jordan Henderson just checking who that was. Watch this space.
Alexander-Arnold over it. The man from West Derby in Liverpool itself. 20 years of age, floats it in. A huge mural painted in his honour 2 streets away from Anfield. The hook, an attempt by Wijnaldum, easy for Pope this time. Slice clearance by the goalkeeper. Now here's Cork, and he lobs it over the top for Chris Wood to chase. Offside again though. Virgil van Dijk was the defender.
see Alexander-Arnold just glance up. He's looking, oh, there's a deflection off Wood. Hadn't noticed that. Just there, just glances off his shoulder, and that loops it back up over Pope and into the net. Now, will he still be awarded the goal? Wouldn't have thought so. It should be an own goal, shouldn't it? Salah, edge of the penalty area, and adjusts to a foul. Ben Mee. Because the shot, well, it was a cross, wasn't it? Let's be honest, wouldn't have been on target. That deflection would mean it would be an own goal. Oh, it's given away by Mee. Here's Firmino. Mane to his left, Salah to his right. Sadio Mane to make it two for Liverpool. Oh, easy as you like. It's a beautiful finish. Burnley, the architects of their own downfall there, and all of a sudden, Liverpool double their advantage. Ben Mee, massively disappointed. Sadio Mane makes it 2-0. Well, if the first goal was unfortunate, this is disastrous from a Burnley perspective. Complete miscue from Ben Mee, and then the quality, precision and execution of this. Everything about that looks so easy, but everything about that is spot on. Firmino playing with his head up, committing Tarkowski, takes him out of the game with the pass, and it's the quality of the pass, the weight of it, allows Mane just to step onto it, play it with his right foot and pass it into that corner. Nick Pope, no chance in goal. Well, the Burnley captain giving the ball away, and there's nothing he can do. He can only watch on in horror as Sadio Mane, who's now scored 21 goals in his last 28 appearances. That's his second in the Premier League this season. He was late back from the Africa Cup of Nations. He only arrived back in Liverpool after his, I think, 13-day break from football, Graham. Corner kick to Burnley. Right back on the Monday before the Friday opener. He's got his second goal of this Premier League season. It's incredible, isn't it? Sean Dyche, up until 5-10 minutes ago, would have been delighted with how his team were dealing with this exceptional Liverpool side. Suddenly, 2-0 down. Just under 4 minutes between the Liverpool goals. Lowton trying to find possibly Barnes. It was closer to Cork in the end. And here comes Alexander-Arnold. Looks up and realises he's got all sorts of space to move into here. It's another good-looking ball, and it was a good call by Pope. The defender on the near post ducked down just in time. Was it Peters? Goalkeeper taking control. Amazing how far forward Henderson's playing. He's found himself on that right wing, putting in crosses on quite a few occasions in this first half. Westwood for Burnley. Can they respond before the break? Ashley Barnes unhappy, just popped the ball through the legs of Fabinho, I think. If he didn't feel it was a foul. It's not the easiest ball to deal with, but he hands it straight to Mane, who's continued his run here. Here's Firmino. He's done excellently in defence. Now Barnes holds the ball up under pressure from Fabinho, wins his side a free kick. Fabinho just taking the sting out of the situation there. Ashley Barnes immediately looking up, wanting a little bit of a confrontation.
is Cork for Burnley. Now McNeil. Here's Peters. A bit of space here for Cork. McNeil with two defenders to beat, both England internationals. He's done well. Oh no, he hasn't. It's a goal kick, much to the annoyance of some of the Burnley fans in the corner. Well, on that occasion he did well, but Alexander-Arnold did better. Burnley will look back at that chance by Chris Wood. In the early stages of the game, the save by Adrian. It was borderline offside, but that was an opportunity they may feel they should have taken. Now they find themselves 2 goals behind. Klopp looks a little irritated.
He wants the team defensively to get out quicker. They've done that brilliantly through most of the first half, but he won't let anybody off the hook. If he sees something that suggests a bit of complacency, he's onto it straight away. You and I wouldn't last long with it.
Particularly you. Particularly me, absolutely. I'd be the first to go. Henderson. Now then, Alexander-Arnold, and he looks up and just sprays a ball across towards Robertson, but it was well read by Lowton. Here's Barnes, and gives it away to Mane. It's not been actually Barnes' best half of football of the season. Henderson was trying to slide it in towards Robertson. It could be in business here. Here is Wood. Now Barnes gets the shot away. Now that's more like it, the combination between the two sets of forwards, winning aerial duels.
But look at this, Wood does well because Van Dijk's putting him under immense pressure. It's good link-up play, and he does well. He protects the ball there, Barnes, really well from Fabinho, but the shot just a little bit underneath it.
Has thrived in the Championship in his career, Chris Wood, but yet to really prove himself at the top level, the New Zealand international. Here's McNeil. Two halves in terms of shadow and sunlight. To the final minute of the first 45. It's Tarkowski. Barnes just drifted into an offside position thanks to Van Dijk stepping up at the crucial moment. Peters. Westwood curls it around, 1-4, Wood to chase.
Didn't quite have the angle on that, did he? The right idea. And again, they're trying to use the two strikers. We saw Arsenal play with two up front against Liverpool last week, and they only used them in the first half. They started passing the ball short in the second half and didn't utilise an outlet.
Nice turn by Cork. Barnes, and he drags his shot wide. Promising signs approaching the half-time break for Burnley.
Yeah, he won't be happy with this given the form that he's in, Barnes, but Cork does very well, just gets enough space, and Van Dijk backs off just enough to give Barnes a side of goal.
Right, so it's half-time, it's 2-0 to Liverpool. I'm not sure what happened to the commentary, but I'm going to try and fix it for the second half. But what we're going to do, we're going to look at the match stats, we're going to look at the league table as it stands, and then we'll look at player ratings as well. But we are 2 subs away from our sub target of 1,650. So if you could help me at that, that'd be great. I can't even find BBC Sport anymore. So Chris Wood with an own goal, and Mane with the second goal, if anyone's wondering. But the stats are here: 62% possession for Liverpool, 38% for Burnley, 7 shots for Burnley, 4 for Liverpool. No, the other way around, sorry. 4 shots for Burnley, 7 for Liverpool. 1 shot on target for Burnley, 4 for Liverpool, and 5 corners to Liverpool. No, 5 corners for Burnley, 1 for Liverpool. So these are the stats. We're also, I forgot to mention at the start of the stream, we're going to be making somebody a moderator at the end of this stream. So if you want to have a chance of being a moderator, then subscribe to the channel. And why is my volume on that? Oh yeah, because I come stream. But if you want to have a chance of being a moderator, then subscribe to the channel and just comment on the stream at full time, and I'll choose somebody that comments that isn't a moderator and that's subscribed to be the next moderator. Shout out to Mr. Pie, he is apparently my first subscriber. Not sure if that's true, but if he is, then thanks for being sub for this long. We're now 1 sub away, which is good. If we hit that sub target by the end of this halftime break, then we'll change it to 1,660 subs as our next target. But Mane has got his second goal of the season now in the Premier League. But what we're going to do now, we'll leave the match stats on the screen whilst I get the player ratings. I don't want to listen to that because it's not even working properly. Don't know why the commentary I usually use just stopped working. It's done that before, I don't know why it does it. I need to get the player ratings up 1 minute. Haven't done this at all, I've completely forgot to do it. But we'll start with Burnley because they're the home side. So Nick Pope has a 6.2 rating. Audio's gone, yeah, because it's half time. Let me turn that a bit higher up. Oh, I didn't mean to open that. So Nick Pope has a 6.2 rating. Ben Mee has a 6. Tarkowski has a 6.6. Eric Peters has a 6.5. Loughton has a 6.4. Westwood has a 6.2. Cork has a 6.7. McNeil has a 6.5. Lennon has a 6.5. Barnes has a 6.7 and Wood has a 6.3. So Jack Cork, the best Burnley player. For Liverpool, Adrian has a 6.8, Matip has a 6.6, Trent has a 6.6, Robertson has a 6.6, Van Dijk has a 6.8, Wijnaldum has a 6.9, Fabinho has a 6.6, Henderson has a 7, Salah has a 6.4, Firmino has a 7.2, and Mane has a 7.1. So Firmino at the moment the best player on the pitch. See if he can keep that. No, I think the audio is just broken on my thing for some reason now. Don't know why it is. But we have about 10 minutes till the second half begins. I swear my parents started to really annoy me. Anyway, read out the player ratings. Not much to do until the second half, so I'm just going to leave this on here until the second half begins. It keeps going on and off audio. I've got to go AFK for 10 minutes back soon. I'll try and fix it. Let me just turn it back up like that. Probably won't fix it, but it's the only thing I can think of doing to help fix it at the moment. I read something about F2 driver got killed or something in the crash earlier. So he got hit. Wait. He got hit by Correa's car. I don't understand that. To be completely honest. But that's nothing to do with this game, to be completely honest. I just saw it whilst I was getting up the stats and I thought, but those are the stats if anyone's interested, if you haven't seen them already. Van Dijk won Ballon d'Or. No, he didn't. He won the Player of the Year for the Champions League. He hasn't won the Ballon d'Or. Doubt he will. Still half time, should be any minute now until second half, hopefully. Hopefully the commentary's finished. No, fixed, not finished. Right. I'm just gonna do a test to see if it works.
Got with a save from Adrian. A Turf Moor half time. Burnley 0, Liverpool 2. Salah had hit the post and then gone 1-on-1 before they grabbed the first goal that came courtesy of Chris Wood, an own goal. Trent Alexander-Arnold was looking for the cross, but the big deflection looped over his keeper into the back of the net. They got a second more conventionally though when Ben Mee gave the ball away to Roberto Firmino. He passed to Mane and he's
Right, I think it's fixed now. I don't know why it stopped, but should be fine for the second half. If it's not, then I'll have to get it up on my phone again. Don't know how long the half time was. I think it was like 20 minutes ago. No, 15 minutes ago. Should start any minute. Right, yeah, it's starting now. I'm going to try and put it back on the commentary. I don't know if it's fixed. If it's not, then I'll put it on in about a minute or two.
Back out for the second half. And it's Burnley with it all to do. Generally speaking, when they're winning at half-time, they go on and win the game. And we've just seen some incredible stats for Jurgen Klopp's side. I think they've been winning about 59 games at half-time, gone on to win 54 of them, something like that. Drawn a few, lost none. So, yeah, they like to have their noses in front foot bullies. As now we see the sun is in the face of Nick Pope. Sun will probably go down by or at least the shadows won't be bothering him for long. But right at the moment, he's got sun right in his face. As he has the ball, just launches it right foot over the halfway line. Good header away by Van Dijk. doing his work. And then Burnley back on the ball with Pope. And Peters percentage ball down the line, left hand side. The ball breaks back here, maybe an opportunity for Mane. Tarkowski just nicks it off him. Henderson can't get it. The ball toward Lennon, not quite good enough, but he's got to show a bit more daring do devil to get back at Robertson. As Mane puts the ball into the box for Robertson, attempted to cross away is blocked, and that's gone out for a corner kick. So again, Liverpool starting on the front foot, and they're doing all right.
Yeah, Liverpool looking to, I think if they get a third goal, John, that'll probably sign and seal it, won't it, really? I mean, probably people would argue that they've already done enough in this match to get the 3 points, but a third one, I think, especially at the start of the second half, would really wrap it up.
So, yeah, it is a corner kick, an opportunity rolled short, and then Robertson to the far post, headed back in, but this time it's rather harmlessly from Matip, and it been easily dealt with. So anyway, it is a goal kick, and we launched at long by Nick Pope, still with that sun in his face. Fabinho wins it, and then it's headed by Eric Peters, and then McNeil burst past his first marker. Matip comes across though, and that's cool stuff from him. But well, the clearance wasn't that cool because he chipped it straight out. So a bit of work to do. One thing we talked about, Burnley were pretty terrible with their set pieces, weren't they? First half, when we expected a fair bit more. I'm sure that's something they've talked about at half time.
I think they need to improve it if they do get chances, and you'd expect to try and take them and really have a go at Liverpool.
Oh, a terrible ball into the box from Mane. There were real opportunities there. Firmino stood in an acre of space for so long, waiting for the ball, and it just wouldn't come. That could have been 3, couldn't it? I mean, Burnley, it'll be all about, can they grab a goal, what can they do, but they're leaving gaps wide out. Another terrible ball. Alexander-Arnold again into an acre of space, then Fabinho couldn't find it.
I'm going to disagree. I don't think it was that bad ball. I think it was just slightly misjudged. You can see it's almost perfect. It's just ahead of him. It's right on his foot virtually, and I know he hasn't got there where he should have got to, and he's disappointed with himself, but he was inches away there from that being an absolutely perfect ball.
I think
you're being critical. I think
I am being critical because I think he's in an acre there. I think you've got to find him. Anyhow, Wood gets penalised for backing in, I think, and he's saying, well, what was that for? Backing in, I think. Yeah, he has not been getting much joy out of Van Dijk, is he? And he's a big lad, he likes to bully, but there's no bully in this fella. He's just too big and strong, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's a colossus, really. Van Dijk, I think he's got it all as a centre back. Everything that you'd want in a modern day centre back, in terms of the fact that he's very good in the air, but he's also very good on the floor. Dominates the centre forward. He wins most of his aerial duels. Doesn't get dribbled past. He's fast. He can read the game, and he's also a threat at the other end as well going forward. So you can understand why he's winning these awards, Van Dijk.
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't seen Avengers Endgame, but I reckon Van Dijk could chin Thanos.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. No. Genuinely don't know what you're talking about. I think it is the most biggest worldwide grossing film ever, though, isn't it? I've read that, but I haven't seen the film.
Yeah, I think it was just behind that nonsense with
Avatar. No, I think it's beaten it now. I think that's the headline, that in the last few weeks it's beaten it.
Right, cool. Anyway, yeah, still not to see it. As Barnes takes it on his chest, and Wood tries to make the cut, but Fabinho takes it off him, and passing aside, I think Fabinho and Henderson put a lot of work rate in, and Fabinho's winning a lot of ball from that midfield. I'm a bit disappointed with Westwood and Court the other way around, though, for Burnley, that they're not winning quite as much.
No, I think Burnley, they've been in the game, there's no doubt about it, but I mean, there's a fairly elementary mistake there from Barnes. Simple flick on, it just puts it out of play. Liverpool are 2-0 up, but they've not been at their best, but they haven't needed to be, because Burnley haven't really got to grips with the game and haven't done what Burnley normally do. They haven't they haven't asked enough questions, Burnley, really.
No, they haven't. Just so Sharon Massey, she's the assistant referee on this near side. She don't think I've seen her make a mistake when I've watched her, so she's one of the better assistants. In fairness to Chris Kavanagh, our referee today, has not had an awful lot to do. We said ahead of the game, it'd be Liverpool having to crawl over broken glass, but it just haven't been like that. Burnley have been too easy today, and there we go. You've got to control the ball. Loughton's thinking about what he's going to do with it before he controls it, and the ball rolls underneath his foot. Ben Mee with that error that allowed Firmino an easy ball to Mane for the second goal. Not much you can do with a slice of bad luck, which they got for the first with that Wood own goal, as Mane tries to wriggle between two. They're meeting the sandwich there. He couldn't quite make it stick, and he looks up and thinks, well, why didn't I get a free kick?
Yeah, he goes down a bit easy, doesn't he? I mean, he gets through two players, but I think it is a foul. I think
Tarkowski there is not going to let him,
I think he does block him off, and I think it was a foul, but he doesn't get it, Mane, because he does go down a little bit too easily. Referee not having any of it. In a way, should he be booking him for a dive then? And that's the argument to be had. Sometimes it's not a dive, and sometimes it's not a foul there.
Well, there was no way through there, was there? And I don't think Tarkowski was playing the ball. He definitely was the meat in the sandwich. You hear that expression, but he didn't have anywhere to go. I thought it was a free kick. Anyway, Firmino, brilliant work from him. Takes it away from Loughton, flicks it forward. He's Salah onside. Ooh, flag's gone up down the far side. It must have been pretty close.
Yeah, again, the flag goes up just slightly later, doesn't it, than what we're used to it being in the last sort of however many years football's existed. But it's now all of a sudden it goes up when the player gets possession of it and is in control of it and looks like he might go through on goal. Then that's when they seem to stick it up. But yeah, I think he probably was just offside. At the other end, meanwhile, ball played up to Matip, or towards where Matip was, and he's fouled. Someone jumps into him. Again, it's a case of Matip not jumping and Barnes trying to jump. We saw that at the other end, didn't we? And in some ways, you could argue that is a foul by Matip on Barnes, really, but he does jump into him a bit there.
The thing is that ball's not in the air that long. They're so difficult to read, aren't they? It's like that ball's dipping down. Matip thinks I can play this. Next thing you know, he's getting a knee in the back from Barnes, who's thinking I can head this. I don't know who's right or wrong. Barnes has got an uncanny knack of hurting people while he's protecting himself going for headers. Anyway, I think we'll leave it at that. As Lennon,
I would say, just going back to it, that you should really, like what you said in the first half, if someone's intending to play the ball, then you would think they're the ones who should get the benefit of the doubt and say, well, if someone's just standing there not looking to play the ball but looking at the ball, then they're the ones probably committing the foul, aren't they?
It's difficult because
then are they judging it to come on?
Is the ball in the air? Is it there to be headed? Or, as Matip said to himself, right, this ball's going to drop just at my foot. So therefore I'm going to back until it comes. It's a difficult one, that, isn't it? And then the referee's just got to get it right. I felt in that, Matip was fouled probably, but it's sympathy there as well. As we see another one of those, really. This time Barnes making it back, Fabinho diving over the top of him to try and win it. And that's it, isn't it? In a nutshell, 6 and 2 threes, you don't quite know. McNeil battling with Alexander-Arnold, and this time, that could have gone either way. The referee's decision goes to Burnley.
Yeah, it was a sort of 50-50, wasn't it? Again, McNeil is giving Alexander-Arnold quite a few problems down that left-hand side. There's a little shirt pull at one stage where
but they're just scrapping. They're having a good scrap there. I didn't think he did much wrong, but anyway, he's got a free kick. You really bit harsh, but you're right. And Alexander-Arnold just trying to keep hold of him, just had the shirt, but he didn't.
Just a second where you saw the shirt actually come away from his body, and I think that's enough, isn't it, really?
Maybe it's even less than a second. I think my free kick would be he's held on to the shirt. Anyway, ball into box. Van Dijk is going to win it anyway, and absolutely, like you said, Colossus, who is hard to beat and has really added a lot to Liverpool since his arrival. There were so many clubs that could have got him. Obviously he's gone to a club where he's winning things, but he was there for everybody else to go and buy. You look at Man City today, and they're down to the bare bones. Fabinho was put in today because of an injury. Fabinho and Otamendi are there too now because Stones is out.
Fernandinho,
Fernandinho, sorry, and Stones is out long term. They picked up another injury today as Laporte.
Well, I mean, I think City wanted Van Dijk, didn't they? But it was fairly obvious that Van Dijk wanted, for whatever reason, to move to Liverpool, and Liverpool could have tried to get him in the summer and had to wait to the January when they eventually did get him, over a year ago now.
Anyway, they had good fortune. Like I said, Laporte stretched off today for Man City, albeit they had a fairly comfortable victory. As Robertson percentage ball into the box, really. He's not picked out a man there, and again makes it easy for Nick Pope. We've had about 10 minutes of second half. I haven't written anything down. It's like a good honest tussle, but not much end product really.
No, not an awful lot of quality in the final third so far. A lot of battles in midfield, lots of headers and 50-50 battles, free kicks, stoppages, and it's not particularly pretty. It's kind of the game that I think Burnley would like it to be more than Liverpool, but the problem that Burnley have got is that they're 2-0 down.
Yeah, this was for the first half, wasn't it? Rather than right now, all this gritty, tough battling away. Anyway, we'll have a bit of recap nonetheless. At Turf Moor, it's still Liverpool who had 2-goal advantage. Burnley have turned up the second half, rolled up their sleeves and are making it a right old battle. But maybe they should have done that in the first half a little bit more. Maybe the game is gone for them now. They're making it a right old arm wrestle, and still Liverpool are creating little bits and pieces, but the game has got rather stodgy.
And Liverpool coming forward on the right with Salah on the edge of the penalty area, just prods it across in with the outside of the foot, falls to Firmino, who picks it up when he shouldn't really do so, gets a shot in, but it's blocked at source. Liverpool still have it here with Alexander-Arnold, goes past a couple of challenges on the right hand side to Salah on the right. Salah with the effort. I don't know if it was a cross or a shot in the end from the Egyptian. It was neither, and it goes into the side netting, and it'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, some good work there by Firmino in the box, wasn't it? He just nicked a ball he had no right to get. He does stuff like that all the time, doesn't he? Just clever, savvy footballer, knows what he needs to do, got winning ways, and yeah, he's playing well again. He works hard for Liverpool all the way up and down the field. Got the odd goal in him, the odd assist in him. Just a good all-round forward, really, if you like. As we see now, a chance for Adrian to show what he's got. Comes, slides out, and stops any progress for Barnes.
Yeah, Liverpool just have it again, and it's all very scrappy at the minute, to be perfectly honest with you. At the start of the second half, as John was saying before, not really a chance of note, to be honest, in the first 15 or 14 minutes of the second half. But Liverpool won't care really. They're in command of the match in terms of the scoreline.
No, absolutely that. As Fabinho makes a break left-hand side, he's looking to take a hit there, and Tarkowski, he can't magic himself out of the way. And whereas before I thought Mane was blocked off by him, I think Fabinho has run a little bit into his marker here. But
that's a foul. It comes over and takes him out. It's a clear foul. I know what you're saying from the first view. It looked like it was a bit dubious, but Fabinho's got past him. And I mean, I know Tarkowski hasn't got many places to go, but he comes in and pushes him out of the way.
I think you're right. I think the thing is there, he didn't have the ball, Fabinho, did he? He's waiting for the contact, and it comes,
The initial one didn't, from first viewing, it didn't necessarily look like a foul, but when you watch it again, he comes in with a bit of force to push him out of the way, and Tarkowski will say he needed to do it because he needed to stop the attack, and that's what he's done. Anyway,
he sure did, but it's a free kick now, and well, Nick Pope got the sun in his eyes. What can Liverpool do? A chance for Salah. Drives his shot in from just inside the box on the right hand side, but it blocked away at source.
Yeah, well worked free kick from Liverpool, wasn't it? They played it short, and then the ball pulled back to Salah. First time effort, didn't hit it properly, Salah, and it was blocked.
Yeah, a bit of ebb and flow about the game now. Still Liverpool look the better team. Burnley working hard, and at home the fans expect that is a given, really. So they're never going to throw in the towel, but they just don't necessarily look like they've got that quality. And I'm looking again in the middle of the park. I thought that Dwight McNeil had gone quiet. He just really needed to go again, didn't he? Fewest touches. Aaron Lennon not getting involved. The two strikers aren't. And in the middle of the park, Cork and Westwood have got too much to do, in my opinion. Anyway, Salah breaks now. Great from him. Holds up the ball. He's inviting others in. Little step over. Then a shot. The shot's weak, and Firmino is in so much space.
Well, I mean, Salah's guilty of this at times. I think that he keeps hold of the ball and tries to score a wonderful individual goal rather than passing it, and that's a perfect example. He does so well, creates the space, roll it into Firmino there, and it's surely the third goal. Instead he takes the shot on after doing all the hard work himself.
Well, after all the work that Firmino does, though, and Klopp is furious with him there. He loves him, but also it just shows the other side there. I mean,
he needed to pass it. It was a simple ball into Firmino, probably 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, he missed his mark there, and he'll understand that. Today for Salah, he's had an interesting game where he's at the woodwork and he played his part. He could have had a goal with that one where he takes it into the box and it clips off Pope's knees onto his. And he's desperate to score goals that keep on scoring, isn't he? And you kind of like that hunger, but you've got to always do the right thing, and that's what the better players do. Van Dijk's on the ball now, and he rolls it out to Matip. Again, long stride and gallops over the halfway line, then chips the ball out to the left. Not the worst ball I've seen, and Robertson can pick it up. Aaron Lennon stood in front of him, not offering enough to the game really. And again, like I said, in midfield, Jack Cork's been a bit of a stranger. Good ball over the top now. Alexander-Arnold at the byline, puts the ball in, breaks off Peters, out for a corner.
Yeah, better bit of football from Liverpool in the last 3 or 4 minutes. They look like they've sort of tried to re-establish control of the match after it has been scrappy actually for quite a long spell at the start of this second half. And in the end, Henderson plays a good ball out to Alexander-Arnold, who, with the crossing, was aiming it towards Mane and Salah, but it's blocked. Another corner for Liverpool there.
Just looking at the bench for Burnley and thinking, what could you do? I think I'd bring on Vidra. Not quite sure who would go off for him. And they need goals now, so even though I don't necessarily think 4-4-2 is working, I think you'd have to keep the strikers. As the ball comes in, Peters heads away, and that's another wasted opportunity. Is there anybody on the Liverpool bench who could get a run out today?
Oxlade-Chamberlain possibly, Lallana maybe. I mean, they all could, whether Klopp will make the decision to make changes yet. I'd be surprised. He might leave it to more than sort of 15 minutes to go, sort of that sort of a period. Liverpool squad's going to be needed with the Champions League returning, of course, next month as well, and that's when you will see Klopp, I think, rotate his squad a bit more. He's generally kept it as it is so far.
Oh, there, Westwood gets the ball caught in his feet. Sees Mane driving toward the goal now. Gets the ball out of his feet for Henderson. He clips it on the inside. Westwood blocks it. Breaks to Firmino. Volley down into the deck. I think that's good technique. It might loop in, but in the end, he just doesn't perhaps catch it well enough.
Yeah, again, it comes from Burnley squandering possession in midfield really cheaply. Liverpool work it to Mane. Mane unselfishly plays it into Henderson, who could have had a shot himself. Clips it towards Firmino. Overhead kick effort, acrobatic effort from Firmino is blocked.
Yeah, maybe Ashley Westwood was a little bit unlucky there, but he's not having a great game, I don't think. Corner kick comes in right the way through the box, and
foul.
Yeah, not a good ball. Nothing good about that, really.
Foul as it came in, I think. It was pushing inside the penalty area.
Burnley 0, Liverpool 2 in the late sunshine at Turf Moor. Getting darker earlier, isn't it? Winter's coming. But for Liverpool and their fans, they'll be looking forward to some good nights of football, and obviously with the Champions League draw and all that will be on their minds too. I'm still trying to work out what Eric Cantona was going on about the.
Yeah, I've read the quotes about his. He likes a very random quote, doesn't he, from years ago as well. But yeah, Liverpool in terms of the draw, Napoli, Salzburg, and Genk, I think it was, or Ghent. I think it's a group that Liverpool will be delighted with, really. Napoli will be a tough game again. They had them last year, but they'll be expected to go through.
So anyway, Aaron Lennon fights for the ball. He gets tagged by Henderson. The two come together, and what's the referee giving here? Well, Henderson's holding his leg and down. The referee decided to stop it.
I think he's given a free kick to Burnley, though.
Yeah, he was caught late, wasn't he? And just came off second best. I don't quite know how he managed that, but probably into the knee right into Henderson, and it could be a dead leg, I think.
Yeah, one of them where he's just taking it on his top of his thigh. And you were saying about substitutions for Liverpool a few minutes ago. This probably will be one now. You'd expect James Milner or possibly Oxlade-Chamberlain to come on if Henderson can't continue. It's 25 minutes to go. You would think that that would be the change that Klopp will have to make if the skipper Henderson has decided he can't carry on. It's a little bit of an innocuous one. The Liverpool bench are getting themselves ready for a substitution here by the looks of it.
Yep, 2-0 to Liverpool. I've got to say, second half they might as well not bothered coming out. Been a bit stodgy, really. Not a great deal going on, and which is brilliant for Jurgen Klopp, because he didn't want any drama. Well, he said we might see Oxlade-Chamberlain, and he's about to come onto the field of play. Possibly. Henderson has had treatment, so he goes off. Skipper's armband on, gives it a wee rub, and well, maybe the Ox might not be needed.
I'm waiting to see. He's poised. He's about to take his top off, and now he's left it on. And he's laughing himself, Oxlade-Chamberlain there. Burnley have a free kick anyway.
Yeah, ball chipped deep in. Van Dijk, the destroyer, gets there first again, and he's just giving them nothing. So quietly efficient in this game, rather than sort of demonstrably brilliant. He is just going about his business nice and quietly, getting it done. As Loughton now, as a throw, finds Lennon. A little Haven hole, but he didn't get it back from Loughton, and that's been the story of their game. Just nothing really working out. Barney wins the ball well. Firmino, I mean, deep covering the left-back slot there, but this time the ball from him is not very good.
I think he's pulled it back here, Chris Kavanagh, the referee, for a previous foul, which means Liverpool will be able to keep hold of possession. But I mean, you're right about the second half, John. It's been stop-start. It's been, not particularly frantic, but not pretty at all. Scrappy, free kicks. Burnley just can't get into the game from their point of view. They need a foothold in the match, and a chance to somehow reduce the deficit. It just doesn't look like coming at the moment.
It's funny, isn't it, when they don't need stop-start, is exactly what they've got, although a ball chipped over the top, and out comes Adrian again, reads it really well. Not sure the flag had gone up or not, but let's have a recap of what we've just seen. Let's Turf Moor, it's almost like the game's finished. Really very little meaningful is happening, probably because Virgil van Dijk is controlling everything. Every long ball into the box from Burnley, he nods away. At the other end, well, maybe Liverpool should have had another goal. Salah was in a great position, worked by himself. He kept hold of the ball at the edge of the area under pressure, and eventually worked that into a shooting chance. But the thing is, Firmino was in the box in a better position, and probably would have made it 3. Salah's shot was weak and straight at Nick Pope, so that makes it still Liverpool with a 2-goal advantage.
Yeah, we just saw shots then of the Liverpool bench once again, where Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain does appear ready to come on for Liverpool very shortly. Who it's going to be for remains to be seen. I wouldn't have thought that Jordan Henderson would be the obvious change for Oxlade-Chamberlain as Burnley break forward down the right-hand side, but Robertson reads it well and is able to clear away. Picked up by McNeil on the left, and now on the right-hand side, Loughton with a cross in, cleared away by Van Dijk again. The amount of clearances and headers and blocks that the Liverpool centre-back has won this evening, as John was saying not too long ago, is amazing, really. You'd like to see the stats. Has he lost a 50-50 battle tonight, Van Dijk?
Yeah, I don't think so. I can't remember it. I mean, not only is he's a very good footballer, but he must be a manager's dream as well, because all the nasty bits he can do really well. Yeah. For those who your Sam Allardyce's and your Tony Pulisi's would be purring at his performance, but he can play football, and he's not just that, is it? He's just a good all-rounder. Anyway, we're more than 3/4 of the way through, and it's going to be Aiden now to take us through to full time.
Yeah, Burnley 0, Liverpool 2. Thanks, John. The change is being made here by Liverpool, and it is Henderson who is going to be replaced by Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Henderson gives the armband to Van Dijk. Henderson just picking up that knock about 4 or 5 minutes ago. Looked like a bit of a dead leg, and now Oxlade-Chamberlain is coming on. So you would have thought maybe James Milner would have been the more obvious change for Liverpool, but Oxlade-Chamberlain's a little bit more of an attacking player. He has started Premier League games for Liverpool this season after that long absence with a knee injury, and he's immediately into the action as he gets the throw in from Alexander-Arnold down the right-hand side, and now it's flipped in field to Van Dijk, who advances into the Burnley half, and Van Dijk takes it on his chest and actually goes for a shot from 40-45 yards, maybe more, which was a hugely ambitious effort, and in the end it was a waste. It flies over the bar.
It's sort of set up for that, and he slices across it thinking he might make it dip a bit more, but
it's the goal of the season if it goes in though.
Yeah, needs to work on that, doesn't he? Rubbish.
71 minutes on the clock. Burnley 0, Liverpool 2. Off Tube Studio commentary. The ball's flicked on by Lennon, but it doesn't drop to a player in a claret shirt. Instead, Liverpool clear it away. All a little bit untidy still in this second half, we have to say. Matip can't quite control it on the right hand side, and then Barnes gets to the ball in front of him, and Barnes is fouled by Matip. Then Matip tries to get up because he thinks maybe the referee hasn't blown the whistle, and Barnes pulls him down, but the free kick had originally been given to Burnley because Matip had initially misjudged it. Then Barnes takes it round him, nutmegs him, and takes him out, and it is a clear foul.
Yeah, he got in a bit too deep, did Matip, and then he just thinks, I'm not going to let you turn. And then Barnes is thinking, well, I'm not going to let you up then. So he's trying to get away, and
it's all a bit silly.
Yeah.
The upshot is that it's a free kick to Burnley. They need something soon, do Sean Dyche decide, if they are to get something out of the match, as the free kick is delivered in by McNeil. Free header by Tarkowski. He rose well, and one of the few times that the Liverpool defence have been beaten in the air, Tarkowski gets his head onto it, but he can't keep his header down. It goes over the bar.
Yeah, that was good work from him, because he's the one who's battling away with Van Dijk in there, and he just gets the right side of him. Van Dijk's behind him at that point, and the ball was there to be had. Let's see Jay Rodriguez get a run out now.
Yeah, Jay Rodriguez signed in the summer for Burnley, former Burnley player, of course, gone back to his hometown club, I think, and he was brought on for the final 20 minutes or so, if we including stoppage time, to try and get Burnley back into the match. It's going to be Ashley Barnes who's going to be going off, the man who's been informed for the Clarets at the start of the season, so he will not add to his goal tally this evening. Barnes going off and Rodriguez on. I thought when they signed Rodriguez in the summer, John, that he's going to go back there just as a sort of impact player, because he's had a bad record of injuries, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, his last bad injury, I think he took him back a year and a half to get rid of it all. And
I think he's had 2 bad knee injuries.
I mean, because he was nearly on the edge of England, wasn't he? Just about. And
I think he did play for England once.
Yeah, I mean, his form at Southampton was terrific, wasn't it? Under Pochettino, I think, and he and Lambert propelled themselves. I mean, Lambert got that dream move, didn't he? And but injuries have just robbed him, really. But let's hope that he can have a good back end to his career. Going to be difficult for him to displace either of Barnes or Wood in this Burnley lineup, though.
Liverpool just playing a little bit of a dangerous game in their own half with the ball towards the back, and in the end they go back to Alisson, and then it's worked up to Fabinho, who decides belatedly to launch it forward, which I think was the right thing to do because Burnley were closing him down. Played up towards Salah, he can't get on the end of it, and Mee hacks it out of play a little bit untidily, but it needed to be done as well. And now Liverpool have a throw-in right in front of Sean Dyche. Trent Alexander-Arnold with it, throws it into Oxlade-Chamberlain. The Liverpool fullback gets it back, but goes back to Joel Matip. It's not been a good second half to watch, in truth. First half was better from both teams, as Van Dijk comes forward here for Liverpool over the halfway line, gives it to Wijnaldum, and now Robertson in the left-back position, but in the Burnley half. Liverpool just keep possession with Van Dijk and Wijnaldum. Liverpool just want to see this out, really, or maybe add to it. They want a clean sheet as well, Liverpool. Haven't had one yet in the first 3 games of the season. They've conceded a goal in each game, and after having the best record for clean sheets last season in the Premier League, they're going to want to get one of those on the board as quickly as possible. I think this is a great opportunity for them, because, to be honest with you, Burnley haven't really looked like scoring, have they?
No, they haven't. I think clean sheets, are quite difficult for 4-3-3 teams. But that being said, last season sort of flies in the face of that. I think they've been a bit more ordinary this season, conceding goals in Europe and even in the friendlies ahead of the season. They conceded a few. And a lot of that, I think, also is wrapped up in the goalkeepers. Adrian's done all right today, but he's not as good as Alisson Becker, and he's not as good as sweeping for his team.
Here's a chance for Burnley. It's played through to Rodriguez. Surely the flag's gone up. The Liverpool defence stops, and the flag does go up. But as we now know, the flag sometimes goes up quite late, and it looked like maybe it was going to continue as Wood played it through to Rodriguez. He was in on goal. He misses anyway. It was a good save. Then the rebound came back out, but the flag did belatedly go up. Let's see if they got it right. Well, the first ball's not offside. That's the right decision, and then the second one is
a mile offside, yeah,
a couple of yards. So
that's a good decision again from Shan Massey on this near side. Like I said, I've hardly ever seen her get anything wrong, but that was pretty obvious. You know, he just went too soon, too keen, wasn't he, Jay Rodriguez?
Here's Robertson for Liverpool after Wijnaldum had won it well. And now Van Dijk again just slows it down when he gets on the ball. The Dutchman plays it to Robertson, and now Oxlade-Chamberlain with a nice 1-2 down the left-hand side to the Scotland captain, who just about keeps hold of it. Goes back to Firmino. Firmino to Fabinho. It's all very tight down the left-hand side. Liverpool need to try and engineer a bit of space here, as Burnley are working hard to close them down. Firmino into Fabinho, the two Brazilians. He goes down too easily under a challenge when I think he thought he might have got a free kick. Doesn't get it. Play continues, but then Burnley give it away.
Poor ball from Jack Cork, and you know, the Liverpool defence was so far up then. Between him and Westwood today, they've done more bad than good, and neither of them has picked a good pass. And you know, from that engine room, we just need more than Burnley have given today, and that's one of the reasons why they've not been able to create anything. And of course, you know, going forward, we mentioned him, but Van Dijk has been so solid at the back, won nearly every header, and if he didn't win it, then Matip's probably about as tall as him, if not a little bit taller, I don't know, but so they were strong in the air today.
Yeah, it's not been a good second half to watch, that is certainly true. We've said it a few times. You know, bare chances really, couple for Liverpool maybe when Salah went through and possibly should have passed, and then that quickly taken free kick or corner as it was as well. But here come Burnley with Rodriguez, the substitute, does well to hold up the play and plays in Dwight McNeil on the left hand side. He's closed down by Alexander Arnold, who stuck to his task well there and slides in and puts it out of play for a Burnley throw-in down by the corner flag. Just about 12.5 minutes of the 90 to go, John.
Yeah, it's a good test, hasn't it? Been a good little battle for McNeil and Alexander Arnold, two young Englishmen having a right good go. I'm a big fan of Gomez. I'm not sure he wouldn't be in my sort of best Liverpool team, but I think Matip's played fairly solidly too, though.
Yeah, I think Matip was very good in the second half of last season and deserved his place in the team, and he deserved to keep it. Now Liverpool go looking for a third here with Salah. He's got options left and right if he picks the right pass. Here's Oxlade-Chamberlain, first time shot from Oxlade-Chamberlain, when I think probably he could have taken it on a bit further or looked for a teammate as well. He let rip with a first time effort that was straight down the throat of Nick Pope and fairly comfortable for the Burnley keeper to save. And now Burnley break quickly on the counter attack themselves with Lennon, although he's just held up by Wijnaldum, and now Cork in midfield keeps things ticking over for Burnley. McNeil centre field will fancy a shot from here, does fancy a shot, but it drifts high over the bar once again.
Yeah, just not happening, is it? I mean, Oxlade-Chamberlain, when that ball's rolled to him, you think, right, go on, Carlos Alberto, whatever, Rivellino, bang. But he, like you said, drills it straight to the keeper. Yeah, you once in a blue moon, but the way you run onto that ball, you think, go on, you know. But you're right, he probably shouldn't have taken a touch or two, steadied himself, wouldn't have been quite as dramatic. And at the other end, McNeil's instead a dab, but yeah, it's not anything I'm going to be writing down. I think in my notes they've not really got anywhere close to Adrian's goal this second half.
Yeah, and I think the first half, that one chance actually right at the start of the game that Chris Wood had was the best Burnley have had. Now here come Liverpool looking for the fourth with Salah on the right hand side of the penalty area. He's got support here. Salah, if he opts to pass it, Firmino with the first time finish into the bottom corner, and that is the game wrapped up for Liverpool. Roberto Firmino celebrates. Salah did the hard work. It fell to Firmino, right footed effort into the bottom corner, and it's exactly what Liverpool wanted. Burnley 0, Liverpool 3.
Yeah, well, I think it'd be fair to say that they've settled the points, haven't they? Emphatic strike by the Brazilian. At Turf Moor, it's now Burnley 0, Liverpool 3. And surely the game wrapped up. Firmino started the move, found Salah right hand side, onside. He cut inside Peters, went past Ben Mee, and Firmino running back onto the ball in the D with a right foot thunderbolt. Smashed it past it, Nick Pope, and that has certainly made the point safe for Jurgen Klopp's side.
Yeah, Liverpool not been at their best again this evening. They're sort of playing a bit within themselves, you get the feeling. The runners-up from last year have only really played in fits and starts, I think, at the start of this Premier League season. They've done so again this evening, but they find themselves 3-0 up and dominant really in another match in the Premier League, as they have it again here with Wijnaldum and now Robertson. Liverpool are going to stay top of the early Premier League table and make it 4 wins from 4. The goal came in the 80th minute. Roberto Firmino with it, and is looking good for Jurgen Klopp's team once again, and from Burnley's point of view, they just haven't offered enough going forward. They've huffed and puffed and they've worked hard and they've tried to restrict Liverpool, there's no doubt about it. They haven't created enough, and they haven't really done enough to suggest that they're ever going to get anything out of this match, as Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain picks it up in midfield for Liverpool, plays the ball up over the top looking for either Mane or Salah, well dealt with by Loughton, picked up by Firmino, tries to play a first time pass to Mane. Mane can't get on the end of it though, and Ben Mee reads it, and surely, John, that is the game wrapped up. We'll come back in a second as Oxlade-Chamberlain wins it back for Liverpool, and now Alexander-Arnold on the right hand side. Liverpool sends more goals, low cross into the penalty area cleared by Tarkowski.
Yeah, I mean, exactly that. I think I like to see Burnley play 4-4-2 at home against other opposition. I just think that when they're up against the big guns, they need probably to go 4-5-1, mix it in the middle, spoil it a bit more. They've still got an out ball to a Barnes or a big guy like a Wood or a Rodriguez, you know, that's fine. But I felt that they've really lacked in that engine room today. Also a bit disappointed with Lennon, you know, wide right, not really getting involved in the game. McNeil's been a little bit in and out. I think they've missed the hard work of Goodmanson, quite frankly. But yeah, below par, they've made mistakes. They didn't capitalise on set piece first half. I think for Burnley today, you'd struggle to give them more than, say, a 3 out of 10.
I was going to say 4 or 5, but yeah, it's not much better than that, is it? Whereas, you know, Liverpool are like sort of 7 out of 10, not at their best, but, you know, easily doing enough to win the match. I mean, they've had their helping hand today, Liverpool, 2 big helping hands in the first half. The first goal, it was a big deflection from the Trent Alexander-Arnold cross that goes in off Wood, and then the second goal presented to Firmino by a simple pass by me. Here come Liverpool again. This is a flowing move. Salah inside the penalty area. Oh, he needs to pass it really again, but turns back in onto his right foot, and then, well, he's crowded out. And will it be a corner or a foul? Salah shakes his head and laughs, but for me, again, Salah just needs to play it into Sadio Mane after Firmino does really well.
Drags the defence in, drags Loughton in. There was a chance for that ball. Maybe Loughton had cut off that chance, but and you know what? He scored that many goals. He backs himself. Then, you know, Peters comes back across. He ends up booting him on the back of the ankle.
Well,
so
it's a foul, isn't it? I mean, the ball's gone. It's a clear foul by Salah.
Unwitting as it was, but Salah just thinks, I'm never going to score today.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Firmino has well, he hasn't. He's done that. It's not a new record, but he's got 50 goals in the Premier League by Firmino.
I'm just thinking if you were saying who scored the most, which Brazilian scored most in the Premier League, I probably wouldn't have gone for Firmino, but it's quite obvious when you think about it. You know, he's been doing it for a couple of seasons now, and yeah, he's such a strong player. Like I said, he had a little dip in form, didn't he? And I think that was related to injury as well. But yeah,
after the World Cup.
Yeah, he's come back so strong, hasn't he?
Liverpool going to make 2 changes here, and Sadio Mane is going off for Divock Origi, and the lesser spotted Xherdan Shaqiri is coming on as well for Liverpool. Mane's not happy because I think he wanted another goal this evening. He's one of them players, Mane. Whenever he goes off, he looks frustrated, but he's got his goal in the first half. Firmino also going off, so Firmino and Mane off, and Origi and Shaqiri on for Liverpool for the final 5 minutes or so of normal time plus stoppage time. On top of that, the points appear to be wrapped up for Jurgen Klopp's side. Burnley 0, Liverpool 3. Mane not happy with one thing or another. I don't exactly know what it is. We didn't see the start of that.
I don't know. Cheer up, mate.
In front of him. I don't exactly know what the big problem there is with Sadio Mane. He scored a goal tonight.
Well, they're winning 3-0. He's got to remember it's a team game. It ain't just about him, you know. And they're winning 3-0, and he scored. I don't really get that.
Unless there's some sort of dispute. It looked like he was pointing to something in front of him, as if someone's maybe blocked him off as he's tried to come off the pitch, or maybe it was because he couldn't. He's just been given some water there. It looked like, you know, he was pointing towards something in front of him as if he wanted to get at something and he couldn't get at something. I don't know, or has someone stopped him from getting off the pitch, or is he? I don't know. There's been some sort of altercation with Klopp even there. I don't know. They all seem to be friends now, but it was a bit of a strange few minutes that.
A funny time to throw your toys out the pram at 3-0 up, but
Andy has scored as well. It's not like, you know, he's had a poor night. He's had a good game, Mane.
I don't know.
5 minutes to go, or 4 minutes to go of the 90 minutes. Burnley 0, Liverpool 3. Liverpool making all them substitutions, and the game you would expect now to just be seen out by Jurgen Klopp's side, who are going to stay top of the table and going to make it 4 wins from 4. It's going to be 2 points clear of Manchester City, who of course beat Brighton this afternoon. And of course we break for the internationals now, John. So no Premier League action for a fortnight.
Good up. So I'm going on.
You're going away?
I am going on holiday. So.
Here's Oxlade-Chamberlain for Liverpool running centrally. Gives it to Origi. Origi, little step over, looks for options, goes back to Robertson, and then gets it back. The Belgian on the left-hand side, then plays a clever ball back down the line towards Robertson, who plays in a teasing cross towards the penalty area, but no one advancing in a black shirt, and Burnley will clear it away. The game is up now, though. I think if the referee offered Burnley the whistle, they would take it, there's no doubt about it. Here's Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain on the right-hand side, but I think there was handball in there as he tried to control it, and it'll be a free kick to the Clarets.
Ball hit his arm, and yeah, pretty clear that, but I think it's rather unwitting and all that. However, you couldn't unsee it. For the Reds fans who've made the short trip, they will have enjoyed it. But you know, for the home crowd, I think they're quite a hard watch, really. Burnley. You know, you pay your money, you support your local team, don't you? But I think. You know, if I had a season ticket, you'd be thinking, "Oh, blimey, here we go again." You know, they play a certain way, probably because of you know, the kind of player that they can buy. But he buys very similar types of players all the time, doesn't he? You know, it's going to be another 6'5" forward. It's going to be another, you know, hard-working midfielder. And after a while, yeah, that's their style. But I think they need to step it up just a little bit and buy a bit more talent.
He's a bit naive. I think that he sticks to his principles too much almost. But anyway, here's Origi down the left side, does well, plays a teasing cross in, but it's blocked by the Burnley defence. You know, you would think that, you know, every now and again you need to change it. It's all right sticking to your principles, but play that 3/4 of the time. But if every now and again change it up, and the good managers, the real top managers, will be able to adapt their tactics. And it just seems a little bit that Burnley are one-dimensional, aren't they, really?
Well, I saw Brighton today get thumped by Man City, but they played really well. They support attacks, they get bodies forward. This is the same bunch of deadlegs who nearly went down last season, and he's absolutely getting a tune out of them. But here come Burnley, maybe a chance. Rodriguez spins, turns, drives away from the keeper, and he chips it, and it's saved by Adrian.
Well, yeah, Liverpool are trying to protect that clean sheet. Rodriguez should score, though. He goes through. Looks like Van Dijk is going to cut him off at one point, but Rodriguez does well, then delays the shot. Adrian comes out to deny him. He then looks like he's going to get it back and score, but the Liverpool defence, well, Adrian with the hand, and then Robertson is able to head it away. Liverpool will be wanting to keep a clean sheet, like I mentioned a few minutes or so ago, because they haven't done that yet in the Premier League. And they'll be defending this corner as it comes in from the right hand side. It's a deep one, headed back across goal and cleared away by Matip just about. And Liverpool do manage to preserve that clean sheet for now. Picked up on the left hand side by Tarkowski, who's come forward for the corner, and he does well to play it down the line looking for Lennon. Good defending from Fabinho though, who wins the challenge. We're into the 90th minute. Burnley 0, Liverpool 3. Burnley just looking for a goal at the end of this match to give themselves a bit of a consolation. A lot of the Burnley fans or some of the Burnley fans have left already, because there's a lot of empty seats down in the corner behind the goal to the right hand side, next to where the visiting fans are. Here's Lennon, still busy for Burnley, just tries to lay it off in midfield, but instead finds Lowton then with a poor ball, and now Robertson reads it well for Liverpool, and Robertson motors over the halfway line, and Liverpool have got 3 or 4 men forward here, and Robertson tries to play it towards Salah. Salah made the run over past the defender, and it might have been the right ball, but it was just over under hit, John.
I think it's the wrong run there, because he sort of straightens up. You know, if you've got an angle, it makes the ball a bit easier. If you're having to hit a straight ball, it's very difficult.
Well, Liverpool work it well here, and it looked like it was going to be the 4th goal, as Salah brilliantly got past his man, then flicked it through for Wijnaldum, who was virtually in on goal, but Nick Pope came out really well to deny him and win the ball.
Yeah, good football all the way around. That nice ball in, and then Wijnaldum's one touch isn't bad in the box, but Pope's just read it like a book and comes out and strips the ball off him. Yeah, it's good football, that.
3 minutes of injury time has been signalled by the 4th official, of which we've played 40 seconds already. Liverpool are still looking for maybe a 4th goal, with Origi down the left hand side, the substitute, and he's fouled by Lennon. There'll be a free kick to the visitors. The camera's still focusing on Sadio Mane on the bench. Doesn't look happy. Have we got a replay as to what Origi is having a word with somebody on the bench as he's coming off? I don't know who it is.
Off the other bench, was it?
Might have been.
I don't know who's rattled his cage, but clearly not a happy chappy, and he's still slightly simmering, though, isn't he?
It's unclear as if he was shouting at somebody.
Are the two benches quite together, or
no? Because that's the Burnley bench, that's the Liverpool bench. So he's having a word with someone as he's coming off on the Liverpool bench, from what I can make out. Whether it's just one of his substitute teammates or one of the coaches that maybe he thinks has decided that the substitution needs to be made, and he's shouting. He's not happy at all. From a few minutes or so ago, this is, and then eventually he sits down and sort of has to be restrained a little bit.
It's a bit. It is
weird, isn't it?
It is a bit throwing his toys out the pram. Then it seems like they're, no matter what's gone on personally for him, his team are winning 3-0 and he's scored. You think you'd be a bit more cheery.
Here come Liverpool again, still looking for that fourth goal as Wijnaldum threads it through for Salah. The Burnley defence read it well there. Tarkowski came across to clear a minute to go of the 3 minutes of stoppage time. The victory is Liverpool's, and it looks like it being a solid 3-0 win for Jurgen Klopp's team at Turf Moor, as Robertson plays it down the left hand side to Origi, who's come on and has been hugging this left touchline since being introduced. Now Liverpool keep it with Oxlade-Chamberlain. He looks to switch it out to the right hand side to Oxlade-Chamberlain, and first time ball into Wijnaldum, and now he's Xherdan Shaqiri for the first time on the ball. Shaqiri takes a shot. It's blocked on the edge of the area by the Burnley defence, and now Dwight McNeil picks it up for Burnley. It's the dying embers of the match, and Fabinho deflects a ball out of play, and that may well be the last meaningful action of the game, because we're ticking on towards the 3 minutes of stoppage time. Goals from Alexander-Arnold, a deflection off Chris Wood, a second from Sadio Mane, and then the third in the second half from Roberto Firmino has given Liverpool a comfortable 3-0 win.
Right, so it's full time. It finishes 3-0 to Liverpool. What we're going to do, we're going to look at the match facts, we're going to look at the league table, and then we are going to make somebody a moderator. So if you want to be a moderator, then stay in the stream, subscribe to the channel, and comment underneath the comment I'm about to make, and then you'll have a chance of being a moderator. I'll pick someone. So the stats, Liverpool have had Liverpool had 63% possession, Burnley had 37%, 15 shots to Liverpool, 7 for Burnley, 7 shots on target for Liverpool, 2 for Burnley, and 6 corners for Burnley, 4 for Liverpool. So Liverpool the better side, they deserve to win. And what we'll do now, we'll look at the league table. So Liverpool moved top on 12 points, Man City dropped down to second. Burnley dropped down to 11th, which means Tottenham go up to 10th. Tomorrow we're going to be doing 2 streams. If my thing loads. So tomorrow at 12 o'clock we're going to be doing commentary for Rangers v Celtic. And then 4:30 we'll do commentary for Arsenal v Tottenham. So 2 games for tomorrow. Then we have the international break. I'll try and do some League One and I'll try and do EFL Trophy, international friendlies, and League 1 and 2 commentaries. We'll have to wait and see though. There's quite a few League 1 games happening and League 2 that I could potentially do. How much points did Liverpool have? They have 12. Put the league table there. But we have 2 people that have commented mod. And I have to choose one of you. I'm just going to check if you're both subscribed. So if you're not subscribed, then you won't be able to be a moderator. Josh, you're already a mod. Now this is the difficult choice. Choosing somebody to be a moderator and then... Well, I mean, Iconic Fire, see your subs. I'm not sure about... When I click on Mr. Pie channel, it says no content. But he did say he was subbed like quite early on in the stream. And he was my first sub. So how long have you guys been watching my channel? And I may have to give it to the person that's been watching like the longest, because that's kind of fair. So I'm not going to give it to like someone that's been watching for like half an hour instead of like a few months or a year or so. So just let me know how long you've been watching and I'll choose. I'll just leave it on that screen put. Since your second vid, I've been watching for a year, but I mean, if that's, I mean, if Mr. Pie's been watching the longest, then if he's been watching since my second video, I might do another mod upgrade tomorrow. As well, potentially. You know what, because it's my birthday tomorrow, I'm gonna make both of you moderators. There you go, both of you are now moderators. Might do another one tomorrow, mod upgrade, so if you wanted to be a mod but you didn't get to comment or anything, then just join tomorrow's stream for Arsenal v Tottenham at full time. In that game I'll do commentary for that. But I'm going to end the stream now, so wait, do you do all Liverpool? I do most of them. I've done 3 or 4 Liverpool games. I think I've done 4 Liverpool games so far this season. But I'm going to end the stream now, so thanks for watching. And hopefully I see some of you guys for tomorrow for Rangers v Celtic and Arsenal Tottenham. Goodbye.